Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to talk about how to enter next level light tank gameplay. In order to do that, you need to know when the time has come to advance in your tank. If you're interested in more reviews and gameplay, go to YouTube and search for World of Tanks with Bruce to get all of my videos, or click on the subscribe button. And now let's go. In a light tank, your firepower is inferior compared to medium tanks. However, you have the spotting advantage on your side. Now, I recommend everybody, including new players, to play light tanks because I think understanding light tanks will make you a better player in World of Tanks. Furthermore, at mid-tiers, light tanks have an advantage compared to medium tanks. You don't believe me? Well, check out my video in which I explain why you should play light tanks, which is linked right here. In this video, I want to bring you guys to the next level of light tank gameplay. Lots of players don't understand that it is crucial to preserve your hit points because the influence of a light tank is highest at the end of the game. So let me show you what I mean with some gameplay. Let's go. Alright, so let me start this video with an example of how not to play a light tank. So we are spawning on Glacier in our LTG, a tier 7 light tank, and there are two other light tanks in the game, and you all know that taking this this hill on, let's say, C3 is super important because you have control over the heavy lane if you manage to win this hill. Now, there's the Type 64 in our team, the light tank, and then there's also the AWTHC, the tier 6 light tank. And I want you to pay attention to the AWTHC. So take a look at what I am doing and take a look at what he is doing. So obviously he thinks, well, the hill is super important, so let's rush the hill. So I'm spotted here, okay, I discontinue, and now he thinks, okay, now I want to rush the hill, and bam bam bam, and now he is dead. He tried to rush into the strategic position, but the time for him to rush the hill has not come yet. The enemy forces are aiming towards this position, and now he's taken out of the game and he's completely useless. And keep in mind, there's nothing more useless than a light tank who is taken out of the game in the very first minutes. A light tank is super strong at the end of the game, so you should always try to stay in the game. But now let me show you some examples in which I tell you when the time is come, and when you how you can see when the time has come for you in your light tank to push and to win the strategic positions, so that you are not such a light tank who is basically throwing away his tank in the very first minute of the game. Okay, second game. Now we are once again playing on Glacier. We are now playing in the AMX-13105, the tier 10 French light tank. Same situation once again on Glacier. It is I would say it is relatively important to win the hill because you can have control over the heavy lane and win the northern flanks. So the hill is important, but let me now show you how I play this map in a light tank. So instead of rushing the hill in the very first at the very first chance, I kind of play a bit more cautiously, and I try to punish enemies for making mistakes like this. So I approached this position because I want to spot all the enemy tanks that are rushing to the hill, but then I am trying to get a shot, and nice, the enemy tier 10 light tank is rushing the hill, and now he is receiving shots from our team, which is excellent. And yes, he made it to the hill. However, he has now only about 1/3 of his HP remaining, and sooner or later we will be able to push him out of this position, and then we will be able to control the hill and to use that to our advantage. At this period of time, there's no need to rush the hill because the heavy tanks are just about approaching the heavy lane, and so it is completely useless. Okay, that was an excellent gameplay. It is useless to rush the hill. Now, the T-49 also tried now to rush. I think he did a better job than the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, which is taken out of the game right now. But as you can see, even the T-49 is down to being one-shottable. And now, as there's only the standard B, of course he spotted me and I received one shot, yeah, which is okay. And now I make a little mistake, drive too much to the left hand side, yep, and now receive a shot from the object 257. But now I have full control over the hill, and now there's no other light tank, and there's also not another medium tank who is able to push the hill. So now the chance of the enemy team to push us out of the hill is simply gone, and now we can use the hill to our advantage. Now looks like in this game the enemy team did not play the heavy lane, which is fine. If they had played the heavy lane, we could now be able to support, or we would now be able to support our heavy tanks on the heavy lane. But now as this is not the case, we can simply use the hill in order to get lines of fire towards the middle. And now we simply want to reload our clip and then take some more shots. We already made 1800 damage, and I think this is what you should take with you. Don't try to rush to a strategic position. Yes, I know there are strategic positions from which you can have a superb influence for your team in the game. However, it is crucial to actually maintain this position. And in order to maintain this position, you should rather let the enemy team rush into this position and reduce the HP of those tanks. And then later on in the game, you will be able to outplay them and to win this, or to retake this strategic position, and then to remain it or to maintain it for the remainder of the game. This is advanced gameplay in your light tank. Okay, so looks like our team has pretty much won the game, so now it is time to quickly advance in order to get some more damage. And fortunately we are playing in a light tank, so we are fast, we have the mobility to do that. 10-1, the game is won, and yeah, once again we will simply advance forward and try to make some more damage. But in my opinion, this is correct light tank gameplay. Let the enemy tanks make mistakes. Don't throw away your own tank at the beginning of the game and then outplay your opponents later on in the game. And the longer you can stay in a game with a light tank, the stronger your tank becomes, and the easier it is to have a bigger influence on the game. So yeah, we are now advancing, and you know what, there's the Minotauro waiting, but you know what, we will, yeah, now he has redo, I think he has, and now you know what, he is now one shot, so 8 seconds until he can shoot the next round, and so we can flank him, and now we get this next damage. Nice. So yeah, we waited until the Minotauro shot, and then we used his reload time, keep in mind 8 seconds, to flank him, and so we don't even receive any damage from the Minotauro, but we now made 2600 damage and the game is won. Yeah, so I think this was a good example on how to play a light tank, and let's now jump into the next game. Alright, third game. Once again, we are playing in the AMX 13105. We're spawning on Murovanka in the south, and this time I want to quickly talk about the strategic position for light tank on this map. Spawning on Murovanka in the south, in my opinion, the best light tank gameplay is to go into this bush or maybe into this bush and outspot those tanks, and maybe even the tanks which are playing in this portion. Now the problem is, if you push all the way aggressively here, chances are that enemy light tanks will also spot you, and you can be taken under fire not only by this light tank but also by those tanks which are going to this position and which which are waiting for you to get spotted in order to make damage. So this is a very, very risky gameplay. Now, if you have the problem that there are more than one light tanks in the game, then chances are that you will encounter 2 light tanks in this position. So what you can do is you can play more defensively and go to this position and try to spot those light tanks, and then later on in the game move forward like this and use this bush here and then maybe this bush in order to spot the enemy team. Okay, so yeah, we want to play in the middle and win this strategic position. Now the problem we have is there are 2 light tanks playing against us, and as you can see, our own light tank is playing on the left hand side, which is fine, but now we have to make sure that we are not pushed out instantaneously at the beginning of the game. And this is why I play this map a little bit more defensively, go to this position right here and just wait and see what is going on. Now, if you push all the way forward, this is a risky gameplay, and it can work out, it can be beneficial, but chances are that you get pushed out instantaneously by an aggressive AMX 13105 or an aggressive WZ 1321 player. And so I am taking the more conservative approach, because keep in mind, my overall game is to stay alive until the end of the game, because the influence of a light tank is huge at the end of the game. Okay, unfortunately we bounced this shot. Now we are spotted, so I want to fall back into cover. If you have questions about why you should play defensively at the beginning and why you should play aggressively and how aggressively you should play at the end of the game, then check out my video about 3 phases of the game, which is linked right here. And now we simply can make damage on the tanks which are lit right here on the right hand flank. Now the enemy light tank was spotted, which is good. I'm reloading my clip. So far everything is fine. Yep, we are taken on a fire by some enemy tank. Okay, so I should fall back into cover. Notice that I'm simply moving out of cover in order to see whether I can spot somebody and also to see whether I get spotted, and then I instantaneously fall back into cover. Here you go, I'm once again spotted. No pressure, everything is fine. You don't need to rush at the beginning of the game in a light tank. As you can see, enemy tanks, here you go. There's the next shot opportunity for us. Nice. And now the Leopard 1 is taken out of the game, which is excellent. And so our team has an advantage because the enemy team has already lost 2 tanks. Excellent. We are still full HP in the game, and with being full HP, we will have the chance of having a great influence, a huge influence, I should say, at the end of the game. So let me quickly see. Okay, now it's time to once again check out this position. Here you go. That's what I want to see. I track the MX 13105. He uses his repair kit, but it's too late. He has already received a shot, and now here you go, another shot, another module damage. And now it is time to advance into this position, because I am now still full HP. Those 2 enemy light tanks have lost quite a chunk of their HP, and now here you go, here you go. I'm now spotting the E50. He, funnily enough, does not spot me, and so now as I'm reloading I can take some shots. This is the good thing about playing an autoloader tank. Nice. Okay, now I get spotted by the enemy light tank, which is in this position. It's fine. I lost half of my HP, which is fine, but he also gets spotted because he's shooting on my position. He is taken under fire by my teammates, and that is fine, so I can reload my clip, and I already made 2,300 damage, 1,200 assisting damage. I have still half of my HP because I played cautiously at the beginning, and our team is winning. We already won the right flank, and now it is time for me to simply advance here, maybe spot one or another tank, and then to simply make 1 or maybe 2 clips. Nice. Take out this object and I can fall back into cover. Okay, looks like I'm not even spotted. Excellent. And so you know what, I will simply, here go, bam, but I need to fall back instantaneously because he already turned his turret towards me. So I'm reloading my clip. It takes 10 seconds until you are not spotted anymore. So always, that's what I wanted to say. Always take this 10 seconds to reload your clip. So the effective reload time of my clip is only 15 seconds. And now, as soon as my clip is reloaded, I will now push out and simply delete one or another tank. Here you go. And then I don't need manual aiming anymore. And so here you go. All right, perfect. So now let's see, can we get another clip? There are still some tanks. The game is won. Now we are entering the phase in which we are consciously trading all our remaining HP in order to get more assisting damage and also to get more damage on our own. And here you go. This tank looks like he is aiming towards me. No, he's not. So you know what? Maybe. Here you go. Nice, another shot. Excellent. And bam. Alright, yeah, so in my opinion, this is advanced light tank gameplay. You should try to win the strategic positions, however, you should not throw away your tank, and this is the more important, the higher priority. You have to keep your HP until the end of the game in order to increase the influence you have on a game. And so please try to win the strategic position, but try to outplay your opponents and try to compete against the other light tanks. Try to reduce the HP of the other light tanks so that they will not have the chance of you know, having a great influence at the end of the game. And if you can do so, if you can reduce the HP of the enemy light tanks at the beginning of the game, then you can outplay them and you can dominate them at the end of the game, and so your influence will get bigger and you will be more successful in your light tank. Okay, last game in this video. This time we are spawning on Malinovka in the northwest, and if you've watched my light tank tutorial on this map, then you know where I want to go. But let's first of all take a look and explain this map for all the people who have not watched my video yet. Spawning on Malinovka in the north, the game usually develops like this, and with a light tank you have several options. You can go here and try to spot those tanks here. You can play aggressively and go to this bush and try to spot the tanks here, maybe the enemy heavy tanks which are approaching the hill. However, in my opinion, the strongest light tank position on Malinovka, if you're spawning in the north, is this bush here, because you can outspot all the tanks in the south, including this light tank which is playing regularly in this bush here, and this gives your team the advantage of easily winning the southern portion of the map. And so this is my preferred light tank gameplay on Malinovka. Yeah, so clearly we will go to this position. There's only one enemy light tank, which is the Manticore, and the Manticore is a difficult light tank because he is certainly able to outspot me in my AMX 13105, so I need to play cautiously. However, he does not have an access to this bush here, as at least not as easily as I have, and so chances are, or I can be actually relatively sure that he will not push down into this position. The problem is that this object 430U is pushing, but he got stunned, so his spotting ability is reduced, and so I simply need to stay in this position because he is unable to outspot me. Yeah, this bush here is superb in order to spot the whole southern part of the map and spot all the enemy tank destroyers and other tanks who are playing, or which are playing in this position. And so we already made 3,300 assisting damage. And yeah, for the guys who already watched my lighting tutorial, you know how I play the map. Now, nonetheless, I wanted to show you this replay because I want to tell you another thing which is crucial for you to kind of enter the next level light tank gameplay. And this is, you should only advance if the time has come, and there are a couple of factors you need to consider in order to assess whether time has come to push forward. And right now the time has clearly not come, because there are still some enemy tanks. If you take a look at the enemy team composition, you see that there are a lot of tanks which are not even spotted yet. There is still the heavy tanks. However, chances are that they are approaching the hill, as our team is doing. Then there's the Foch 155, which is not spotted. Chances are that he is playing in the south. And then there's still the Leopard 1, which is most likely playing in the middle. So chances are that he has access to the southern portion. Now, there's another thing which is crucial for you to understand, and that is the support of your team. One thing is the position of your teammates. So for example, here my teammates in their tank destroyers and their view range circles. So only if enemy tanks are within their render range, they can support you. This is crucial to understand. Now the second thing is the support of your, in this case, medium tanks, which are also playing and making pressure. And now I decide to help the WoT 65, because if your tank or if your teammate has advanced, then you should always try to think of, or you should always that was bad English, you should try to support him. Now this does not mean that you should throw away your tank, but you should try to support him. Now fortunately I spot the Foch 155, and as he is behind the building, he does not spot me in return, and so unfortunately he cannot be taken under fire because he is behind cover. But I should simply try to make sure that he remains spotted, but it's not the time has not yet come to move out and, for example, circle him, because there's still the WoT 65 in the middle, there's still the Leopard in the middle, and then keep in mind there's also the Jagdpanzer E100 which could have turned around, and I certainly don't want to waste my tank. Yes, it is 5-2, so we are on the winning side. Our team has managed to win the hill. Here you go. This is what I want to see. I want to spot the enemy tank destroyers, and unfortunately that is what I want. That is what I just talked about. Looks like he is without or he's out of the render range of the of my teammates, and so he does not receive any shots. Meanwhile, the Jagdpanzer on E100 is receiving shots, which is good. And now let me see, I can get a shot on the Foch 155. Yeah, now he's back into cover. Okay, but we made 4,500 spotting damage. Now the Leopard 1 is approaching. This changes the situation. Looks like our TDs are also approaching, and now it is time to advance further. So now the time has come to further advance, because now we have the support of our team. This is once again crucial for you if you want to understand, or if you want to enter next level light tank gameplay, because more often than not, you see light tank players who are advancing and then complaining about not being supported, but sometimes there are some reasons reasons why you are not supported, and that can be that opponent tanks are out of render range of your teammates, and so yeah, keep that in mind. So we want to take out this, you know what? Let's fall back. Another important thing, and let's make sure that the bush is not transparent anymore, so that we don't get spotted with the shot on the enemy artillery. Another thing you should have in your bag of your tricks. And then now you can see that our teammates are ready to support us, or to support me. And now I want to advance, however slowly and carefully, because still, even though it looks like we are winning, the game is not won yet, and I don't want to throw away all of my HP. And yeah, keep in mind, in this game, the Manticore player, which is or who is doing a great job, is still in the game. He's full HP, and so he has the spotting advantage compared to my tank, because he is certainly the better spotter. And so in such a situation, you need to take this into consideration. So if I want to advance now, I need to have a game plan in mind, because he will outspot me. So I need to make sure that I'm able to fall back into cover as soon as possible, so that I will not get taken out by the enemy remaining teammates. I have some micro lags here. This yeah, I experienced this in the game. Little tip here: if you also have those little micro lags, then just reduce your graphic settings just a tiny touch, and this might solve the problem. Yeah, I advanced here, fall back into cover, moved out, spotted the Manticore, and then instantaneously reversed back into cover. And there's the Jagdpanzer on E100. Okay, I want to get nice. So I'm spotted. I use this windmill and try to bring this windmill between me and the enemy forces so that they cannot shoot at me. And now I'm not spotted anymore, I think. So I now want to advance. Yeah, okay, so the Manticore is clearly now still around the lake here in this position. And so I need to advance, but now, as there are only 4 enemy tanks in the team, and also the IS-7 and the Super Conqueror are also advancing, now it is time to make this this final move. Yes, I will get spotted, most likely, or I am spotted right now. That is not a problem at all. The Manticore is shooting on me. That is also not a problem. Fortunately, I'm playing in the AMX. My firepower is superior. And nice, I can maybe get a second shot. Nice, I get a second shot, and let's ram him. Okay, that was bad. I missed him. And now he still is alive. I need to reload my clip, which is bad. But you know what? Let's drive back into cover maybe, and yeah, he gets another now he's taken out of the game. Excellent. And so yeah, so 6,700 spotting damage, 1,700. Now we can maybe get the kill shot on the Foch, and yeah, an excellent game if you ask me in the AMX 13105. And I wanted to show you this game because it is crucial to understand that you cannot simply try to win a strategic position at the beginning of the game, and it's also crucial to understand when the time has come that where you can make your push and where you can try to win the game or to have a big influence on the game. And important to understand is it depends not only on the enemy team but also on your own team, and clearly also on the enemy light tank, which is your, let's say, direct competitor in each game. So keep all those factors in mind if you're playing a light tank, and if you do so, you will certainly be able to enter the next level of light tank gameplay and have decent results like this. We made about 8,400 damage combined in the AMX 105, an excellent result. And I think if you follow those tips, then you will also become a decent light tank player. Alright guys, that was it for today with a little tutorial on how to further improve your light tank gameplay. Do you like to play light tanks? Do you think those tips and tricks are helpful for you? Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I see you next time in another World of Tanks video.